Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back, and I have my mask on just for a minute. Look at there. See what a problem it is sometimes. But it's worth it because the seems that the coronavirus is ramped back up, and a lot of states who've opened up have closed back down. The beaches will be closed. The numbers went up over 100% of cases in 24, 25 states.
Look in the streets. You know,
some of the country music stars had shows this weekend,
yes,
and there were thousands of people gathered right side by side, not one mask on, and that's just unacceptable. I mean, the older people have been taking care of. The younger people are feeling 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and the 75% of the new cases are between the age of 25 and 45. Because they're not paying attention. They hadn't paid attention.
Population cleansing is going on.
Yeah. So it's not over, and they're expecting the worst to be in next month. That it should be just horrendous. So we're still fighting this battle, folks. And I know a lot of people say I'm not going to stop because you let people march and protest side by side with no protection, and now you're telling me to shut my business down, Mr. Government. So you can't have it both ways. So people are going to have a choice in what they need to do, and we need to use the choice to be smart when we're out with people and around other people.
Yeah, I don't even hug my family anymore.
Well, you don't know where they've been.
I don't even know where my family is, to tell you the truth. But I'm just,
That's right.
It's kind of hard, and that's what you do.
It was funny. I was doing something yesterday that I don't normally do, and I got flushed. Do you ever get flushed every now and then?
As in
you feel you're just red in the face and you just feel like you're burning up. I used to take what is that, niacin?
Oh, yeah.
Does that to you. It makes you just feel like you're on fire.
It makes you start tingling from the feet up. Yeah. The first time I ever had that's what happened. It scared the daylights out of me. It started in my feet, and it just went all the way up, and it was like little pins sticking in your body.
Well, yesterday I was doing something for Fran, and I was what it was basically is I was exerting more effort than I usually do in my day-to-day pass-through life, and I just got flushed and I got hot, and I thought, I kept feeling my forehead. Do I have a temperature? Have I got the corona?
Yeah.
And of course, 2 or 3 hours later, it all went away.
Well, thank goodness.
Oh, yeah. But hey, just be careful out there, folks. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we just need to be smart and be sensitive about other people. The mask is not to protect you; it's to protect them from you. And
but, honestly, we've got to do what we have to do to protect ourselves, but I am not going through the rest of my life afraid.
No. You can't be afraid, but that would be like, it's sort of like them telling you you're 80% more likely to die in a wreck without a seatbelt than you are with a seatbelt, but nobody wears a seatbelt. Same thing.
Right, yeah.
If without a mask, you're 75% more liable to get this than you are with one, but nobody wants to put a mask on. So it's your life, protect yourself.
There's several things that I see happening, and one is the tremendous amount of isolation is causing more suicides, and there's a lot of stuff going on.
The ramifications are huge.
It's huge, and I encourage everybody to.
A lot of people are going broke.
Tell me about it.
And a lot of people are eating good and putting on pandemic pounds.
That's right, and I need to stop it.
cooked more in the last 3-4 months than the last 2 years. And I love being in the kitchen, though. It's really fun.
Let's talk about the 4th of July.
4th of July is this Saturday coming up.
And,
God bless America.
God bless America. And my flag waves high constantly.
All the time. Mine does as well.
I hope that everybody's does. And there's so much to be thankful for by living in this country.
Yes. It might have its problems from time to time, but it's the best one out there.
It's the best one out there. Take a look at Venezuela. Be careful. Remember.
Yeah, for sure.
We're in America.
We're in America.
Proud of it. God bless it.
That's right. That's why everybody wants to get here. They're not swimming yet, but they've done that before.
Oh, yeah.
I guess they're probably swimming now, too. You never can tell. But this right here, folks, that's an important thing, the American flag.
Yes, it is.
And you can do to it what you wish, because people have stood on a wall and fought to give you that right. So before you desecrate it, before you set it on fire, do what you can do, because you have the right to do that, because you live in America. Think about the people who fought and died to give you that privilege. That flag stands for them. So think about that before you burn it, will you? Please?
Well, you know that you can burn it properly.
Well, of course.
Girl Scouts just did that, didn't they, Greg? And I try to
Sure. Oh,
remember
yeah. There's
that,
a proper way to
There's
retire
a proper,
flags.
proper way to do it, and I'm always touched by that ceremony.
You know, my father-in-law, Bob Couch, and if you have a flag, you can take it down to Couch's, Candy down there, and she'll see that the American Legion gets it, and there's a proper, or the Girl Scouts know what to do. There are people who know the proper way to do the ceremony, but Bob Couch used to always make himself available to take a flag and reflag somebody's flagpole.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's
because
a
a lot
nice
of people
thing
who
to
have
do.
flags can't do that
do it
anymore.
yeah.
And Bob would do that and put a new flag up and take their old flag and save them until there was enough of them to require to do a ceremony.
Bob Couch was a good man.
He was a good man,
Yes,
great
he
man,
was.
great historian. My father-in-law, love him, miss him, as does the whole family. And hey, that shirt right behind me, behind my shoulder, right there it is. Tullahoma, H-O-M-E-A.
Oh,
Tullahoma. You never can remember on camera that it's backwards. I've done this for almost 30 years.
I know.
And I still can't figure it out. Go to Couches and pick one of those up and be proud of your home, Tullahoma.
always, always. Tullahoma's a good place to live.
So, country shows coming up.
It
41st
is.
year.
We hope that it comes off. We're going ahead as if it will, because
Yes.
it's hard to stop something like that.
Hard to stop that train.
Yeah, I have a great crew out there working, and I'm consulting this year, which is fabulous. I don't
Peggy
have to.
Burton's South Jackson Goes Country.
41st year. Can you believe that?
Renamed last year on the 40th year for Miss Peggy Burton, who started it, and deservedly so. And we're just the country show. Stopping that would be like when they tried to stop flying the Condor. You know, they flew it anyway. Well, they had 5 passengers in coach. They still flew it.
We are doing
and we're
it.
going to fly it.
We're doing it differently this year. We're being very socially, acceptable as far as
Sure.
how we organize it and everything. And so far, it's worked. And I have a wonderful team. Samantha Waters is directing,
Right.
and Jacqueline's choreographing. Jacqueline Painter and Martha Brooke Hood is doing the warm-up show, and all 3 are former students of mine, and I feel so proud that they're stepping up into
Yeah.
a role that I really don't need to handle anymore. There comes a time in your life when you have to kind of step
your
aside.
magic wand you'll see little sprinkles of fairy dust from your magic wand all through it, I'm
Right.
sure.
We have donated a lot of money to the Civic Center
Yes,
across the
yes,
years,
yes.
and of that I'm very proud, because my mission in life has always been to have a home for the performing arts.
Yes.
And a lot of good things have happened, and Greg Gressel is here today to talk about it.
Talk about a lot of
There you
things,
go.
the new things that are going on at South Jackson Civic Center, and old things that are going to be reacquainted into South Jackson Civic Center.
And that would be me.
And yeah, and us. That would be
There we go,
us, not
right.
just you. And so we're real happy and pleased about that. Coach Olive was on last week, and as far as we know, football season will
continue.
will continue. It's being done in the practice time and everything's in a different sort of fashion, but everybody's under the same rules. It's
Oh, yeah.
so
Everybody
it's not like somebody else had more practice and some time than
You
somebody
just can't
else.
stop your life because they need to practice. That's
Well,
what they-
and as we talked last week, we'll see what teams had good leadership among the players.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
the players are under no mandate of who they can ask over to their
High
house
School
to come
has
play.
Great leadership, I
Yeah,
have to say,
so-
in everything they do. It's a
And
great
speaking of the high school, Colonel Johnson's here today as well
Yes, he'll talk about the ROTC unit that he
at the high school.
takes care of at the high school, and I'm always so impressed by those young people that decide
It is an absolutely
to be,
wonderful program. Something that's been needed for years and years and years in our school system, and Colonel Johnson has come in with his staff and has absolutely knocked it out of the park with what he's done
he
with
has.
these young people.
A few years ago, I was an honorary ROTC captain at MTSU, and
I'll bet you were.
that was fun.
If I was in ROTC, I'd want you to be my captain too.
They were not, it was a really nice group, and it meant a lot to me. And then my son, when he went to MTSU, it was MTSC when I was there. When he went to
Right.
MTSU, he was
In ROTC there,
Yes, or involved.
involved.
Yes,
Your husband was in the military.
husband was in the military.
And although you are very creative, you have two sides of your brain that most people don't have. You have the creative side, but you're also very regimented in what you do. And I'm sure that is because of the military life
No,
that
it's 'cause
you had to lead.
It's because I was raised on a farm. You got up at 5 o'clock, milked 15 cows, and went out and did whatever you had to do.
Yeah, but
it started there.
But the military,
yeah,
there's things
it
you
adds
have to
it.
accomplish
There is.
in a different way than everybody else. Because you're
Yeah.
moving, you don't know when somebody's going to walk in and say, "By the way, pack up. There's a truck coming tomorrow, and y'all are going over here."
I didn't believe the first year that we were moving, that we were going anywhere. I just thought Ralph was lying again. He was always kidding around. And the next thing I knew, the trucks were there to get all our stuff.
But there's a strength in regimentation that can't be gotten any other way,
I agree with that.
and a courage that's built through regimentation that allows you to feel like I've been trained to do this.
Part of all that is you got to practice it. It's
Sure.
just like getting up every morning and making your bed. It's something you just practice until it's automatic and you do it.
Can you still bounce a quarter off of the?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna come out there and test your sheet, Colonel. Do you have a sheet quarter bounce? How high has it got to go? We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Peggy,
It's time for us to get
it's
off
time
of
for
here.
us to quit our useless drivel and have a quick commercial break here, and we'll be back. We have some great guests on the show today, so don't go away. We'll be right back with more entertainment for you on Channel 6, The Link, Local Entertainment Network. Nope, Information Network. That would have been an E, wouldn't it? We'll be back in a minute.
Hello, I'm Ray Noyes. This is a critical time in Tullahoma. On August the 6th, voters will have an opportunity to elect a new mayor, one who can provide proven, experienced leadership, one who knows how to get things done and keep Tullahoma moving. I recognize the value of Tullahoma's excellent school system. Our system is recognized as one of the best in the state, and I'll ensure that our schools continue at that level. I will not vote to raise property taxes in order to have a balanced budget until all other options have been exhausted. I'll work closely with our city staff to ensure that my fiscally conservative values are incorporated. I've served on all city boards involved in economic development. I see that as a way that we can broaden our tax base and avoid a property tax rate increase. Some developers have had issues with our planning and codes department. I'll commit to these improvements. There'll be consistency in the instructions from planning and codes without changes from day to day. And there'll be predictable timelines for providing delivery dates for plan reviews, permits, and inspections. Timelines that will be met reliably. Now, while we can't do much about the traffic on 41A and 55, we can improve our local streets and sidewalks. And this I commit to do. So I ask for your vote for proven, experienced leadership.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I have with me Miss Tiffany Cluttered. I so love your last name.
You did it. You did great.
Yeah, and that's what you do. You've come to Manchester to clean up the clutter in the
Oh, my
town
word.
over at Parks
I don't
and
know about that.
Recreation, right?
No. But it's a funny last name,
Yeah.
but it's a good conversation starter.
How long have you been there working with
At the Recreation
Manchester?
Complex, I've been there since October
Oh, well,
in a full-time capacity as activities coordinator.
Well, that's a good job, and
It
has it slowed
is.
you down a lot with this pandemic and not being able to do what you
Well,
maybe
there was
like
a
to
period of
do?
time when we had to be closed, and we missed our members so
yeah.
terribly. We're used to being a part of their everyday lives, and so we're so happy to be moving open in
Great.
phases, and our outdoor
And
pool is open.
You're being very careful.
We are. We're taking temperatures at the front door. Up till now, we've been open to memberships only, and you can purchase a membership if you live in Coffee County. But in July, starting weekends, starting the
opening
4th
up
of
to more
July,
people?
we're opening for daily passes, so you can purchase a daily pass to come in and say use the outdoor pool, and that's open to folks in Coffee County. So on Saturdays and Sundays, moving forward, will be available to the public that live in Coffee County to purchase that daily pass, and you can use that outdoor pool, because certainly the outdoor pool draws so many people during the summertime, and it's a wonderful, fun summer thing to do.
And somebody asked me one time, how do they keep the pool clean? Do y'all clean it ever so often between visitors?
Well,
How does that work?
now especially, we're daily opening in sessions, so we'll have it open for 2 hours, then close it so we can do extra deep cleaning. The pool itself is cleaned not only with the chlorinated
Chlorine, right.
chemicals, but we also have a UV filter.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
there's not much living in the pool water.
Right. Listen, an occasional frog decides to
Well,
jump in.
and I don't think so. But we use that hour for shutdown to disinfect commonly used surfaces, and especially the locker rooms and
So-
showers and that type of thing. So yes, we're taking extra precautions
That's
to
great.
keep
So what's
folks
coming
safe.
up? I know you have lots of stuff going on. Do you
Well,
wanna tell us
4th
a
of
little bit?
July, we're very
Right.
excited about the City of Manchester. Invite you out to our 4th of July fireworks. We're doing it a little bit differently this year. We're excited for folks to come and see the fireworks. It's going to start 9 o'clock on the 4th of July, and you can see that from many
9
different
o'clock
areas.
p.m.
9 o'clock p.m. And we're encouraging folks to watch from their cars
Right.
so that they can social distance. But we're partnered with Thunder Radio. 107.9 FM is going to do a music coordinated with
With
what
the
you see. So what
fireworks.
you
That'll
see
be great.
and what you hear will be coordinated all together. I don't know how that works.
And where does it actually happen?
At the recreation complex,
Okay.
right near there. So folks can park at the recreation complex. They can park in Fred Dedman Park or Dave King Park or anywhere in the square.
Anywhere
Really,
in
there's
the
so many
area.
places you can
You can
park
still
to see
see it.
those. We want to make sure we let folks know the recreation complex will be closed during the fireworks, but restrooms will be available at Dave King Park and Fred Dedman Park
Very
for
good.
folks to use those. So we're excited about having fireworks.
I know, not
and
everybody's doing it.
This
and
is
so
true.
I think it's wonderful.
We're grateful that we have a way to move
To
forward and enjoy
celebrate
that.
our nation. I love
Exactly. Yes. So we're excited about that. Some things that we're doing right now, we're smack dab in the middle of our summer day camp. So for children ages kindergarten through 12 years old, they come and they spend the day with us, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. And they have fun, they cook, they garden,
Oh,
they
that's
play
wonderful.
games,
Yeah.
they swim, and we're blessed to be able to do that as well. Our director, Bonnie Gamble, and our director of day camp, Eber Campachano, they worked out a really well thought out plan. The children bring their face masks. I brought mine. Their
Yeah.
face coverings in case they need them throughout the day for when they're lined up and social distancing isn't
Possible.
true.
Sometimes it's that
But
way.
the kids are having huge fun. We do have some openings for that. It's open to children
I'm so
that live
glad
in
you're
Coffee
doing
County.
Because how
The
sad it
kids
would be
need
for
it.
them to have to just be locked in their houses.
I think we're all so
all
tired of
summer.
being locked up
I
and
think
away
so,
from each
yeah.
other. We're social beings, aren't we?
Yes,
so we're
we
blessed
are.
to be able to offer that, and it's $65 a week per child, and it's a great program. We want to thank Coffee County Schools. They send
Do
breakfast.
we have a phone number that they can call if they're interested
Please,
in checking this out?
at the Recreation Complex, 728-0273. The Coffee County Schools provide breakfast and lunch for our day campers. So
Good.
it's just a tremendous value, and we want to thank Manchester City Schools. They partnered with us and brought in some teachers to do some art projects with
Wonderful.
them. So they've done some painting and some tie-dye artwork and
So it
that
just
type
seems
of
like
thing.
you've got a wonderful program going on.
Well, we've got a lot of support and a lot of help.
Yeah, and then I think of parents that have to work. They've
True.
got to go to work,
Yes.
and they have
Yes.
a wonderful place for their children to be during the day.
And my children have gone to day camp for years and years and years. And so I know what it's like.
You don't even look old enough to have children.
Oh, heavens to Betsy, I have so many children. But they've gone and had fun and come home worn out.
And they sleep good,
And they
and you
sleep
get a good night's
good.
sleep.
And they have a
That's
great day,
wonderful.
and they're exposed to a lot of wonderful opportunities.
So are you from Coffee County?
Oh, no, I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York.
Yes.
Long way from home. What brought you here?
Well, I had to move here to marry Prince Charming, of course.
Oh, of course.
Well, I mean, and it's a
been
wonderful
happy
place.
here?
Oh, we love it, absolutely.
Well, New York City is a long way from
Manchester? Well, New York City was very far away from Buffalo, where I lived.
Well, yeah.
So kind of a different, real different feel.
Yeah.
More of an,
Well, we're lucky to have you in
Oh,
our
you're so
area.
kind.
And I'm proud of Tullahoma's Parks and Recreation as well
absolutely.
as Manchester.
What a county we live
I know
in
we have
to
some
have these
wonderful people
these tremendous
working here.
resources. Yes.
And our scouting program. There's so many things
Yes.
that happen here that make children be proud and have something to do and stay happy and off the street.
Coffee County's a great
love it.
place to live.
I know. I went
think
to
you
high
and I
school in
agree.
Coffee County. All right, you got any last minute things you
Let
have
me
to say?
check. 4th of July, the weekend day passes, and the Manchester Recreation Complex for folks that live in Coffee County, we've got a place for you, so come and see us.
Tiffany Clutter, I am so glad you came today.
Oh, Miss Peggy,
you
you're
brighten
so
my
kind.
life, giving
Aw.
me all this stuff that you do. I love it.
Aw,
we
you're
hope
so
you'll
kind.
come back soon. We'll
Okay,
be back.
We'll do it.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Oh, I'm so glad you came back. I just about didn't notice that I was back on the screen. I am so glad today I have some military sort of people with me. Colonel Jeffrey Johnson over here, and he's going to introduce one of his cadets that he works with.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Happy 4th of July to you.
Exactly.
And we're really happy to be here to talk about the Marine Corps Junior RTC program at Tullahoma High School.
It's a wonderful program,
yes,
by
ma'am.
the way.
And to my right here, I've got Travis Simons, who this year is going to be our Wildcat Battalion commanding officer.
That's a big job.
Yes, ma'am.
He must have some great credentials.
He's an outstanding young man, and we're very happy to have him in the program. He represents not only our program, but Tullahoma High School and the community in an outstanding manner. And,
that's wonderful.
Him and several other young men and women.
So how many you have? About 30? Did you?
No, ma'am. We have hopefully close to 100.
Wow.
So
I'm impressed.
Yes, ma'am. So Cadet Simons, I guess I would like you to share with the audience that's watching, what does the program mean to you and why are you in the program?
Well, the program means a lot of things to me. First of all, it's a growth experience. It's when I joined the program, I didn't know anything. I was actually coming in homeschool, and last year we were trying to incorporate homeschoolers into the program. And when I was trying to join, I couldn't join because I was a homeschooler, so I had to join the
And so that's changed. Has that changed this year?
Yes, ma'am, that's changed.
So you're still homeschooled? No, you're in the...
I'm enrolled.
Okay, good.
But that gives an opportunity for a
homeschoolers. That's wonderful.
Right, and I hadn't been in public school, so it definitely boosted my confidence in the way that I talk and I walk, the way I hold myself, demeanor. It's a growth experience for a lot of young people.
I agree.
Coming in, it builds you up. It builds your character. It teaches you leadership skills, how to deal with people, communication skills, and it's all around a great program.
You've done a good job.
Well, it's a team effort.
Yeah.
It's a team effort. Sergeant Major Ramirez and I make a great team, but the program is set up to empower the students to take charge and lead other cadets. That's what we want.
I love that. What more could we ask for out of a young person? And do you have a desire to go into the military when this is finished?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you're the quality that we all hope will do that.
One thing that Cadet Simons mentioned was that he was homeschooled, couldn't get into the program, so his mother made an exception on his part to enroll him at Tullahoma High School just so he could get in the program.
Oh, I see.
However, December of last year, the National Defense Authorization Act update was signed by the President, which now authorizes homeschool children high school age to join and participate in any junior RTC program across the nation.
That's fabulous.
It didn't used to be that way,
right?
But now it's kind of set up like they do with athletics. If you're a homeschool
You're allowed
student,
to.
you're allowed to participate in athletics at a local
And all
high
that,
school.
did all that happen last year? The
2000
athletic as well as
No,
the,
ma'am. The athletics has been
It's
going
been
on
longer.
for several years, but this one's brand new.
Oh, I'm impressed. You know, I don't, not that now that I'm not teaching or anything, I don't always know what happens, and I can't think of a program I'd rather see honored in this way, that you can be a homeschooler or you can be in school. So how often do you meet?
The students meet every day. It's part of their
Okay.
curriculum. So Monday through Friday, they're in class with us. Now, there's quite a few extracurricular activities. And
Right.
Cadet Simons, why don't you mention a few of those?
A few extracurricular activities. We have drill team, we have rifle team, we have cyber patriot, and we have 12th man team. These are
That's
the teams
awesome.
inside ROTC, our battalion, and we compete in drill. We compete with rifle, cyber patriot. We also compete, and with 12th man team, we are there supporting the football team in their games, and we hype up the crowd, and those are our extracurricular.
That's beautiful.
But we do a lot of activities outside.
So when you say you compete with other schools and their teams, and you're standing in the competitions?
Yes, ma'am.
You're winning every time? Or how does it work?
Pretty close. You have to consider Tullahoma's a little over 1,000 students. They compete with schools that are well over 2,000.
Right.
And they do very well.
I'm
Matter
sure,
of fact,
I'm sure they do.
We've gone down Hazel Green, where they've competed against 12 to 13 different schools and come home with the first place trophy.
That's fabulous.
So,
What is the ratio, would you say, of the young people that comes into the ROTC program? What is the ratio of those that will actually join the military? Is it pretty high?
no, ma'am. Believe it or not, it's less than 10%.
Less than 10%.
Which is okay. The program isn't necessarily a military recruiting
right.
field. It's to develop
just
leaders,
curious.
for them to go on and pursue whatever they want to do in life. It's to enhance their ability to do that.
I'm sure the self-confidence grows in this program, and you have the confidence that you can stand up and say what you want to say, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's awesome. I am just so pleased to have had this opportunity to meet you, because I think young people like this, they ought to be on the front page of the paper all the time. I mean,
Absolutely, yes,
get the
ma'am.
news off and let's put things like this in the news. I love it. I love
Aside
it.
from the extracurricular activities that they get involved in, they also do a lot of community service type things. Matter of fact, are we cutting off? Okay.
No, I don't know that they were going to cut me off. I don't think we did
Oh,
get cut off.
we're back,
so,
okay.
yeah.
Cadet Simons is actually leaving the color guard for the 4th of July Memorial Walk
great.
ceremony. So he'll be out there. And
I'm proud of that memorial walk, and I hope people will continue to buy bricks, and our time is running out, but I can't tell you how pleased I am that you came today, and I hope you'll come again.
Thank you so much.
It's wonderful meeting
Thank
you.
you very much for allowing
Thank
us to
you,
come on and
and
talk
thank you
about
for
the
what you do. We will be back this time. I think we're done.
My great-grandfather started it in 1900, and now it's 2020, which is 120 years. We still measure your feet, still try to help you find a good fit. We're just a good old-fashioned shoe store where we'll measure your feet, make sure you're in the right size, and help you find a comfortable shoe for men, women, and children.
We're gonna fit your style. We're gonna make you smile. Service and quality at Clayton Shoe Store. We're gonna fit your style.
Ah, the glory days. Running to daylight on the gridiron and chasing a ball with a mind of its own. Cheering the team to victory and marching to the beat of your own drum. Memories that last a lifetime. But sometimes we're reminded of our glory days in ways we'd rather forget. Get back in the game The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live and play well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Hello everyone again, I'm John Rickman.
And this is Pat Welch, and we are here for segment number 14 of the Conversations of John and Pat.
I've got a little song picked out today. Both of us have been married for a long time, Pat. And this is...
well, we're going to date ourselves. June will make me number 40.
Well, and me this year, 49.
Wow.
Long time. And this is a little song, and don't anybody get this wrong. This has the little word in there about the old dog dying. That's nothing. There's been an adage that's gone around for years. Life begins when the kids leave home and the old dog dies. I've heard that since I was a youngster. Now, for people who are really worried about animals and this sort of thing, I can see where it might send a little shiver over you, but I just took an old adage and made this little song out of it. Honey, I've been thinking it won't be very long. Our children will be leaving to start families of their own. I ain't saying I don't miss them. Lord knows that'd be untrue. But the good Lord knows I need to spend some time alone with you. When the kids leave home and the old dog dies, when the baby finally marries and moves out of the house, we'll have more time to love each other all the rest of our lives. When the kids leave home and the old dog dies. Remember before children how our life used to be. I had time for you and you had time for me. Our kids have been a blessing and the old dog's been a friend. I look forward to the day when it's just me and you again. When the kids leave home and the old dog dies, when the baby finally marries and moves out of the house, we'll have more time to love each other all the rest of our lives. When the kids leave home and the old dog dies. Thank you. Thank you.
Wasn't that great?
Thank you. We've been married a long time, and you know,
cumulative, John, we're 89 years of absolutely blessed and idyllic marriage.
Well, I wouldn't hardly say that. Sometimes there are little rifts come up in the family, but
just small bumps. Small bumps.
But you are, your kids have left home, and mine have too, and so that's where we are right now.
I've still got a dog and a cat, and don't want to give them up, either one of them, John. But we've had a big time since the kids left.
What's our subject matter today, Pat?
Well, we talked, this would be our first topic that we would have kind of doubled up on. And that was, you brought up George Orr, who was mayor of Tullahoma for a while and had grown up in Chapel Hill, and we told a story about him in high school about having to play a half of a football game last week without his shoulder pads. And this week I thought I might go further and talk about one incident of his first term of political office. When George ran unfortunately, John, I was an alderman about one of the times that while he was mayor, and that was a meeting with George that George was running was always going to have some kind of excitement in it. But when he was first elected and when I was serving, there was a huge problem with our quality of water in Tullahoma. We had just got off of Short Springs as a source of water, which was really nice, really good tasting water, but it wasn't plentiful enough for the population that was coming, and we had to change to Normandy. And there's nothing wrong with the Normandy water then, except the chemical was different, and it had a complete reaction with old plumbing in most of the houses in Tullahoma at the time, and it turned it dark and so forth, and it smelled, and people were really upset about it. And it didn't matter if Tullahoma was had the economic benefits #1 in America at the time. Nobody was going to be happy till we got the water straightened out. So George was looking into that, and eventually it was taken care of. And Randall Breaker, that's at Duck River now, was the manager that they brought in, and it's been good ever since. But the main problem ends up is that when the temperature of the lake changes with the seasons, the water changes out, and what's really on top goes to the bottom, and the bottom comes up, and then and when it does this, there's some kind of chemical deal takes place towards the middle, and there was a lot of manganese there, and when that took place, and the intake valve was in that area, so it's bringing in this manganese. It lasted for about 2 or 3 weeks, and it had everything, and it had a kind of a red cast to it. And if somebody did a load of whitewash during the wrong period, now it was stained, looked like iodine, and that was a great source of irritation until and Mr. Breaker has solved it. But to get back to the story, George kept hours at City Hall prescribed every week, and he was there, and generally did a really good job with public relations there. You could come in mad, and he'd make it was a kind of a challenge to him to make sure that you left pleased. Well, a lady came in, and she was a large lady, and I've told you, John, before we got here that again we want to make sure that we never say anything that embarrasses our mothers, and I've had to really work on euphemisms and how I tell this story so we don't do that. But she was a big lady, and she had a shopping bag full of laundry that had been stained, and it was white laundry, and she absolutely berated George over the water, and then poured the bag all on his desk. All this was undergarments were stacked in there. And again, remember I said that she was really big, and she picked up an undergarment for a female that would normally be worn above the waist, and she shook it in his face and said, of course it was iodine stain, looked like it was pink instead of white, and she shook it in his face and said, "Just look at this, Mr. Mayor. Would your wife wear this?" And he said, "I doubt it, but I certainly wish she could." And that absolutely, there were some people in City Hall there that heard it, and it just absolutely just came to a roar, and it really took her back and kind of diffused the situation.
It lightened the moment.
It lightened the moment. She put everything back in her bag, thanked him, and left. That may be one of Tullahoma's political and governmental highlights.
Well, Pat, a good story.
Yeah, and we're getting a signal, I think.
This is number 14.
Number 14. Yeah. This is segment number 14, and that concludes today. But it is not the end of the conversations, as long as management will allow us to continue.
Management's happy. Talking history about this and that. It's conversations with John and Pat. With John and Pat. With John and Pat.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States. Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
What's a Tennessee vacation? It starts off like any road trip, and then, boom, adventure and thrills everywhere you look, which happens to be some of the most beautiful scenery in the country. Music here, history there, and all kinds of green in between. Come relax and unwind, or bring the crowd for some stargazing, or stargazing. Whatever you do, come hungry and expect an awesome soundtrack. It's all right here in Tennessee. We're playing your song. For a free vacation guide, visit tnvacation.com.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and you know, all of you know, my passion for music and creators of music, and I'm very, very proud to have a young man on today with his bud, and this is Brandon Brinkley, and Brandon is here from Nashville via Bedford Lake.
Right.
And the reason Brandon is here is his friend, partner,
girlfriend, yeah.
Girlfriend's grandfather is Nick Munn of the Munn family of Tullahoma, and grandmother is Laura Munn, and she was Laura Fancher when we were all young, and one of my first girlfriends, Laura Fancher. Never forget holding her hand. I was sweating bullets. Oh me, 7th grade. You know what that's like. But because of that story, long story short, here's Brandon on stage with us today, and he introduce your bud, Brandon.
This is Jacob Shepard, and my name's Brandon Brindley with a D.
I said Brinkley, didn't I?
It happens.
Sorry.
It's happened my whole life, but that's fine. Brindley, and that's Jacob Shepard. He's from Tennessee as well.
Okay. And so these guys entertain on the Nashville circuit,
right,
on what, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? Or Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday sometimes as well. We play at a bar called Belcourt Taps. We're the late night crowd. We're 11 at night to 3 a.m. So
ooh,
our group
I bet that's fun.
Yeah, our group name's the All Nighters. So it's it kind of came with the territory for that one,
imagine.
Literally. So that's our mainstay. So that's a good place to have Friday, Saturday gig. Every single week. You know, if we're in town or not, it's there for us. So
very good.
That's been really good for us.
Yeah, well, you know, my buddy Tim Daly plays at Tootsie's during the daytime, and he spent years hunting a hole.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because you play here and you play there, and you go to Floribama and you go to Tunica and play, and you go all these different places. But it's really nice to have that spot where you can go where people appreciate you. The management appreciates you because the audience appreciates you. And it gives you a little stability.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's really difficult for creative people. You're also a songwriter.
Right.
And do y'all write together? Or
we've probably wrote a couple songs together, and Amelia's probably wrote a couple with us as well. She's off camera. But yeah, it definitely is a nice thing to have a mainstay. If you can, you know, work and live in the same place, you don't have to hit the road all the time, then that's a pretty good thing.
Well, and the road's been kind of shut down for 4 months.
Right, yeah, and it might be for even longer, who knows?
Yeah, well, the first thing I want to do is get a tune out of you guys and then come back to you. what kind of music do you play, and what kind of music do you write?
So I play more traditional country music, I guess you could say.
Hallelujah.
So, yeah, it's got an older sound to it, I guess you could say.
Okay.
It's definitely not.
Tell
like,
a story?
Do I?
Are you a storyteller?
Most of them tell a story.
Good.
They try to, at least.
The vast millions of we out there are dying for more traditional music where you can understand what the song is about. You can understand the words, and it tells you something. When you're finished, you've learned something, or at least you felt something. So, what's your first song you're gonna do for us?
I'll play a song I probably wrote this one 6 months ago. It's called "Crying All the Way."
Crying all the way. You didn't make him do that.
You ready,
did
Jacob?
you?
All right. This road for so damn long. It's just another town, it's just another song. And these wheels are as wore out as my soul. The hearts I broke and the tears I stole. And every road it reminds me of you. I'm hoping these miles will tell me what to do. 'Cause I was crying all the way to Birmingham. I wanna show you who I really am. 'Cause these tears could overflow any dam. Yeah, I was crying all the way to Birmingham. Take it, Jacob. It's hard to keep it straight with these tears in my eyes. And my heart is to break, my fear is the gas. My fear took over and I drove right past. Well, I never thought I'd leave you behind. Without even calling, without even trying. And these roads, they reminded me of you. I'm glad these miles told me what to do. 'Cause I was crying all the way to Birmingham. I'm glad I know just who I am. 'Cause these tears could overflow any dam. Yeah, I was crying all the way to Birmingham. Yeah, I was crying all the way to Birmingham. Thank you.
Very good. She's still here, though.
Who, Amelia? Yeah, I'm surprised.
You must have stopped. You must have turned around and gone back and picked her up. Very good. Like
Thank
that.
you.
Like that.
Appreciate it.
Different.
Different.
Yeah. Different turnaround in that song. It's always good. It's always good to find resolution.
Right.
But it's really even better when you find it in a different way than normal, which is makes a
Right.
song attractive.
Yeah.
than the same old pickup truck. You know?
One thing I heard one time is, anybody can write a boo-hoo song, but can you write a boo-hoo song but still come out on top?
Yeah.
At the end, everybody can, pity me, feel sorry for me, but it's different when you turn it around.
Yeah.
I guess,
That's right.
So that's kind of what I try to think about when I write a song like that. How can I come out on top?
Is that the way it all works? How does he get to come out on top? So what's your next step? What's your end goal?
So I guess that's it's different for everybody, of course.
Sure.
For me, I would like to be able to. I like to travel and stuff. So travel in the world and being able to make money from music. But I think one thing I wish for and hope for is that people around the world, no matter what country they're in or whatever, can relate to something I write or they like it. Just have people around the world love my music, even if it's a small group of people. So I don't need a mansion or house on the hill or nothing like that. I've never really been that kind of person anyways. But it's being able to connect with people anywhere.
Well, and that's a you're what, 25?
26.
26, you've learned early what most people takes them half of their life to realize is, like you and I were talking yesterday on the phone, the magic is in the journey, not
absolutely.
in the destination, because if you're fortunate enough to be able to continue to do what you're doing, you'll wake up every morning doing something you love. You'll never work a day in your life. You'll have a life full of joy and unbelievable things that happen to you. Will they all make you rich and famous? No, but they'll give you one of the most incredible lives if you're fortunate enough to do it lifelong that anyone could ever want.
I agree with that. I'd rather do something I love and be broke than spend my life 12 hours a day.
Well, no, you don't want to be broke. We all need to eat.
We all need to eat, but I would rather
have a
be
structure.
I would rather be broke than do something I don't want to do all day.
Yeah.
So, to me,
it's
all about happiness.
It's what someone's definition of broke is.
Right,
too.
yeah.
I'll talk to you about that later. What we're going to do, hey, listen, appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
And that's Brindley.
Brindley, yes, sir.
Brindley. And
Jacob Shepard.
Jacob, good to see you, buddy. And we'll work some more stuff out for another day, okay? Yeah. And we'll visit after the show,
cool.
Okay?
All
right, folks. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hello, I'm Ray Noyes. This is a critical time in Tullahoma. On August the 6th, voters will have an opportunity to elect a new mayor, one who can provide proven, experienced leadership, one who knows how to get things done and keep Tullahoma moving. I recognize the value of Tullahoma's excellent school system. Our system is recognized as one of the best in the state, and I'll ensure that our schools continue at that level. I will not vote to raise property taxes in order to have a balanced budget until all other options have been exhausted. I'll work closely with our city staff to ensure that my fiscally conservative values are incorporated. I've served on all city boards involved in economic development. I see that as a way that we can broaden our tax base and avoid a property tax rate increase. Some developers have had issues with our planning and codes department. I'll commit to these improvements. There'll be consistency in the instructions from planning and codes without changes from day to day. And there'll be predictable timelines for providing delivery dates for plan reviews, permits, and inspections. Timelines that will be met reliably. Now, while we can't do much about the traffic on 41A and 55, we can improve our local streets and sidewalks. And this I commit to do. So I ask for your vote for proven, experienced leadership.
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and to keep right on the train of entertainment flow for our city and surrounding area, I have Mr. Greg Gressel on with me today, who's the chairman of the board of South Jackson Civic Center, and also spending some time in the office recently. Greg, great new things. I've heard rumblings about several things that are going on at South Jackson that our audience needs to understand. Some of the wonderful things that are happening, some of the grants that have been awarded, and some of the reconnections that are happening down at South Jackson. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Break it out, man.
Well, we've worked during this pandemic. We have worked pretty hard on a lot of aspects. You know, we have the ability within the building to do quite a bit of social distancing because it's extremely large. And so we've used that time. We've developed a whole costume wing now for our theater department. So we have a whole wing of costuming that is being organized so that it can better suit our needs. And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of individuals helping to do stuff like that. But then renovations that have been taking place, like in the auditorium. We've a whole new paint job, a whole new renovation in the auditorium.
I heard it looked, Peggy told me that it was just wonderful.
It looks incredible.
I'm looking forward to coming in and
so
to the next
classy,
event.
Just a really great look. The proscenium is being redone in a special kind of paint job. Our proscenium is one of the oldest of its kind in the state.
All right, for you folks out there, a proscenium is not a piece of fruit that falls off the tree.
Yes.
Explain the proscenium, what a proscenium is.
It is the arch covering across the front of our stage.
Right.
That archway that covers the front of the stage, and it's special materials that it was made out of.
It's about this wide.
About 2.5 feet wide and wraps around.
It's
and
beautiful.
Goes across the top, and so it's being redone as well, keeping all of its characters, just redone in the paint job.
The paints, yeah.
And then new curtains. It's been something that we've needed for several years.
Right.
We had a lot of work done through the Big Payback to raise money through our donors and stuff, and so we are at the point to be able to do all that. Curtains have been decided on and ordering and coming in, and so it'll be a whole new look.
Can you let the cat out of the bag about the color, or is that something that's going to be maybe a surprise?
We'll let the cat out about the color. The color is a deep red. It's a very rich royal red.
Which looks like that rich royal red that's been used on your graphics.
A lot of our graphics and stuff have had that red on it for years.
That makes me happy.
Yes, and then you add it to what's happened in the auditorium in this proscenium, and it's just going to be incredible. So we're super excited about that, and a lot of that money has come in through our donors. You know, that money was raised for that purpose, can only be spent for that purpose.
Yeah.
We're a 501c3, and we raise money for a purpose, and when we do, we spend it for that purpose. So and then our main entrance in the hallway has also been repainted and is being renovated to match the auditorium. So, and some other rooms off to the side are slated to be done as well. So super excited about that. A lot of detail work in the hallways and the entryways. It'll be exciting when people can come in and actually see what's going on and what's happening. And 2022 will be the 100th anniversary of the auditorium, and so we're hoping, we rolled out this latest campaign, this capital Drives campaign to raise money for the seats and the floors. So we've gotten the walls and the curtains, and new lighting is coming in with that as well, and we're working on lighting and sound while we're down with what funds we have to be able to do that with.
And it makes no difference how pretty it is if they can't see it and hear it.
Right.
Right. That's real important.
Yeah, people give more to seeing it than they do hearing it. So we're trying to get grant money and pull things in to do those kind of things. So really hoping by that 100th anniversary of the auditorium, we have a beautiful new place that we are using for the arts. So.
Okay, and so that brings about another situation that this just is perfect timing for, is there has been a joining of the community playhouse and South Jackson Civic Center.
Yes, it has been over a year in the making with the association and Playhouse, and the late Terry Bradford and I worked on it diligently over time.
What a great man, by the way.
What a phenomenal man, and we're blessed. And so we worked on a period of time just trying to make sure everything just worked out, and that was his desire to see all of that happen in the fashion that it happened in, and it did. We have acquired all of their assets, and they are merging in with South Jackson just to become one. You know, they were there in the beginning stages of South Jackson, and that 40 years ago, in helping get the theater up and on its feet.
We all did it together.
Everyone did it together, and so it was just in recent years, the last 5 or 6 years, that we hadn't been together. So this was kind of a coming home, and so our theme was forever together.
Very good.
And so we're excited about that. Their legacy will live on. That is, they're the second oldest playhouse in the state of Tennessee, and we do all this work to preserve a building if we can't preserve the legacy of a community playhouse.
So we've acquired, South Jackson has acquired their logo and their copyrights.
Yes, they have. They're assigning their trademark to us. We have registered it as a trademark, and we will carry on their legacy through that.
That's
and
great.
Through our theater
That is
series.
wonderful.
So.
That is wonderful. So what else is up?
Well, the loan, many of you probably read in a newspaper this past weekend, I think it was this weekend, or within the last week. Within the last week or so, we obtained a loan from the city. A loan is money that has to be paid back, by the way, guys. It wasn't free money, but it was a great opportunity. Yeah, it was a great opportunity, and a great opportunity that the city offers to some businesses and nonprofits. But with that money, there's much needed soffit and fascia work on the outside of the building. And we're trying to fix the problem as well as the aesthetics of it. We want it to look great, but we also want to fix the problem that keeps causing this to happen, which is our French guttering system and new guttering in this French guttering system. So we're working the whole thing through this loan, and then a couple other things. We're getting a piano vault. We've got a $35,000 instrument there in the building that
we built a cardboard or plywood.
A plywood case
container,
to kind of keep it protected, but it needs to be regulated temperature-wise, and so we're looking at a piano vault that will regulate the temperature for that, and that's going to come out of that, plus 2 very nice bathrooms, and That's going to be the kicker in that situation. And they'll be, if you're looking at the stage, you go out to the left on the other side, they will be right there. It will be a new women's and a men's bathroom, bigger than the ones that we have on the other side. Right. Handicap accessible, changing tables for babies. Very. It'll be a wonderful, wonderful situation. And so we're really looking forward to that. Plans are drawn, and we've been working with the architects.
Okay. We're about out of time, so what I want you to do, the very important thing, is tell people quickly how they can get in touch with South Jackson Civic Center and get their tickets bought and get their questions answered.
Well, we're hoping that in the next we don't know what everything looks like. I mean, with the current situation and the governor's thing that just came down just yesterday, we're looking at what that looks like. We've got 2 shows coming up, our Ice Cream Social and South Jackson Goes Country, and we are planning to move ahead of those because we think we can under the current conditions. And so the tickets will go on sale on our website. They're not up yet because we're trying to figure out what that distancing in the auditorium looks like. The Ice Cream Social will be outside, and so it's up to them. It's up to them, and we're just going to work on that. August the 14th, 15th, and 16th is country. July 30th is the Ice Cream Social, and they can donate. I mean, all this money that's used for these purposes and the loan and everything, we've had no revenues for over 4 months. So you can donate at southjackson.org. There's a donate button. You can help us keep it going.
All right, Greg Gressel, thank you very much. And you pay attention to what goes on in our hometown. South Jackson Civic Center is one of the a crown jewel of this area, and be sure that you find out what's going on. Look at the board out front, go inside and ask a question, make a phone call, text, email, and be part of the success of South Jackson Civic Center in Tullahoma. We'll be right back after these messages.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the Paint Works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat, you know? They do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the Paint Works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fixes you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paint Works today. Martin Senor. See? Martin Senor. Right there. Martin Senor at the Paint Works. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back. I like to say we always save the best for last. I'm so glad today to have Connor Austell on the stage with me. I've known Connor since when? Were you this high?
Born, I guess,
Yeah,
1 or 2 years old.
tiny person that I have watched grow in the music world, and it's been such a thrill to watch him progress and the things he learned to do. Right now, your band, you're calling it Blues Progeny.
Blues Progeny, yeah.
Y'all are fantastic.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We do mostly blues music, but also music that comes from the blues, so rock and roll, country, do a little bit of everything.
A wide range.
Wide range, yes.
I know you were playing over at Whiskey Trail this weekend.
That was with another band that I play with. That's
sorry.
with Yesterday's Wine. That's just strictly country music.
I get them all mixed up.
But yeah, we played over at the Civic Center for the movie premiere.
And that was fabulous.
Yeah.
I love that.
I appreciate it very much.
And I was so glad we got to hear you, because with the pandemic, we don't get to hear everybody. Today I want to talk a little bit about your songwriting, because I think it's a rare talent when you can write songs and play the music and perform it too. That's a lot going on at the same time.
It is.
And when did you start writing?
I wrote my first song when I was 8 years old, and it wasn't very good.
That's okay.
But it was a start.
It was a start.
And I've been absolutely hooked on it ever since then. So.
I admire songwriters so much, and I don't think they ever get the accolades that they deserve. But when you can perform them too, let's do one. Which one would you like to do?
The first one I'm going to do here is one that I wrote a couple years ago. There's a running joke that goes on in my family about the Austell curse. It's mostly on vehicles. We have really bad luck with vehicles.
Yeah.
So I wrote a song kind of about that, and about if I was going to explain that to a girl. It's called My Last Name. We'd been together for a while when my baby asked me, am I ever gonna get a wedding ring? I said, honey, I'll tell you the truth. I wouldn't trade a single thing for how I feel about you. But before I go asking for your hand, there's a couple of things that I need you to understand. You'll have kids that always raise a little more hell than you did at that age. There's no doubt that you'll lose your mind, and you'll have cars that always break down at the worst time. Money, you'll have none. You'll live from paycheck till the week before the next one, and every one of your in-laws will be insane. Think about it, darling. Do you really want my last name? She just laughed and said, I never thought about it like that. But I said, this ain't nothing to laugh at. 4 generations of making ends meet from the money they lend us at the pawn shop on Main Street. She said, history don't have to repeat. Yeah, I said, my mama said the same darn thing. And she had kids that always raised a little more hell than she did at that age. There's no doubt she done lost her mind, and she had cars that always broke down at the worst time. Money, she's got none. She lives from paycheck till the week before the next one, and every one of her in-laws are insane. Think about it, darling. Do you really want my last name? And after all of that, she still took my last name.
I love it. And speaking of taking your last name, I loved it last year when you proposed to Gracie on our South Jackson Goes
Yeah.
Country stage.
That was awful cool, wasn't it?
That was fabulous, and I'll never forget it. And I was truly touched because I watched Gracie grow up too.
Right. On the
And
same
you're a
stage.
lucky man, and
Absolutely.
vice versa.
Very,
vice
very,
versa.
very, yes, very much so.
So the day is coming, and that she will take your last name. I'm so afraid that I won't have time to hear a second song. So let's go ahead and do the second song. Okay.
Sure. The second song I'm going to do, I'm going to leave that off, is actually one that my dad wrote. And being as how everything that's going on in the country right now, and that this weekend is the 4th of July, I thought it would be a good opportunity to bring this one back out again. He wrote it right after 9/11. So it goes like
I love this song.
We the people from every race and creed, one nation under God, built on diversity. You may know our name, but you don't know who we are. We believe in the legacy behind the stripes and stars. Let Old Glory wave high, so the world will know. You may break the body, but you can't break the soul. We were built on the dream of the land of the free. I don't just live in America. America lives in me. We the people, the brave and the free, in the land that our fathers fought and died the kings. We stand united, and with one voice we sound. Though you may bring us to our knees, you will never keep us down. Let Old Glory wave high, so the world will know. You may break the body, but you can't break the soul. We were built on the dream of the land of the free. I don't just live in America. America lives in me. If you don't understand that freedom is not free, we won't forget the price we paid to let freedom ring. Let Old Glory wave high, so the world will know. You may break the body, but you can't break the soul. We were built on the dream of the land of the free. I don't just live in America. America lives in me. No, I don't just live in America. America lives in me. America lives in me.
Wow. That song takes my breath away. That's a good place That's a beautiful song. That should be done every day this week. Thank you, Connor. We
Thank
have to
you.
go
Absolutely.
because I don't know if the show is over or not, but I will just say goodbye right now.
Bye.
Thank you.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's going to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Folks, goodbye. Happy 4th of July. You can't get this anywhere else but right here. Entertainment just for you. See you next time.